I remember I sent bro FLPs. It's like old melodies, 2017 melodies, and then you got the new sauce on there, and people are like, "Oh man, this like old Future. This shit hard."
Focused, you know what I'm saying? Like lyrics first. When you're skilled at your craft, I'm gonna appreciate them regardless of what. You know, image is just image.
If I could just give out one general piece of advice for lo-fi: pose with frequency in mind, texture matters, and groove matters.
A gym for producers, bro. Don't fucking stop practicing your melody. They may fucking suck right now. It happens. We all sucked at one point, but just keep practicing.
Do not give up. Like, don't matter how nothing bad gets, bro. If you feel like this is what you want to do, bro, and you feel like this is what's gonna take you to the level of you just being happy, not even just happy, bro, just like happy financially, bro, stick to this, bro. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different.
Check, 1, 2. What's up with y'all? You already know it's your boy 215 Got Beats, aka Streets, aka you already know this. Producer's new favorite podcast, Let Me Rap With You. I apologize for my absence the previous week. This fucking crazy nigga Donnie Nola came in here and just started wrecking shit. Fucking tie my ass up and then put everything back like ain't nothing there happened. Fucking crazy ass, man. Fucking. But, you know. We back to it. And y'all already know this podcast is sponsored by Demolier. You know, think you dripping. You ain't dripping until you come shop with us. You know, make sure you get my guy Smash215 at Demolier Shop. That's DEMOLIR Shop. No underscore, no none of that. We done gone through this so many times already. And of course, this podcast is sponsored by Major Loops. You know, looking for placement-worthy samples, kits, claps, snares, 808s, hi-hats, open hats, percussions, you name them. Whatever you need to get that next hitter going. Shout out my guy Rory Lux, MajorLoops.com. Great kits, great prices. And of course, you know this podcast is sponsored by No Rival Shop. You already know, shout out my guy The Mind. You know, make sure you go cop up on some No Rivals gear. You know, the Burning Peace collection, the Art collection, got the Wolves collection, got plenty of the Luxury collection, got plenty of collections out there for you to cop. You know, you feel me? Shout out my guy The Mind, you know, keeping this podcast running. And of course, you already know we got the Let Me Rap With You merch out now. You know, everything online, you know, get it ordered, you know, shipped, tracked, everything officially. You know, definitely shout out to the sponsors for, you know, making that happen. And, you know, like I said, positive random vibes, you know. Awesome. You know, the positive random vibes as always, you know. I hope that everyone is cooking up tonight. Rappers in the studio, singers in the studio, you know, no matter what genre you do. Producers cooking up beats, engineers getting some mixing done, photographers getting some crazy photos done, videographers, you know, getting some crazy video shoots with the, you know, nice effects with the, you know, you feel me? Whatever, you know, your craft is, you know, my vibes go out, you know, to all everybody getting something done progressively. But, you know, besides, you know, Donnie's fucking shenanigans, he actually held that DJ Tent interview pretty well. Not even gonna lie. Kind of understand, you know, but, you know, ain't really get to tune in too much, you know, with him trying to run the fucking podcast all last week. But, you know, you feel me? So, but, you know, we're here, you know, we're on season 3. You know, I'm sure y'all have seen we got the merch. You know, I know y'all seen some previews, some stories, you know, a couple of trailers. You know, we definitely got a good season running, and I definitely would love your opinion on, you know, the run we've had so far. Not even just with season 3, but, you know, season 1, season 2. You know, what did you like about it? What did you not like about it? Because, you know, I know we got fans, but, you know, we don't have to have yes men, you know. But, you know, besides that, you know, we rolling. You feel me? Guest just got informed. We got a very, very special guest tonight. And actually, one of my favorite things about tonight's guest is that, you know, I know y'all used to me doing the podcast, you know, like here, you know, in the office, you know, inbound, you know, especially because of COVID. But, you know, even though we are doing this interview through a Zoom call tonight, you know, via the office, this is actually a Homebound episode. You know, this creative is actually from right here in the city. Right here, the PHILLY. Shout out Beanie Siegel. You know, I like that. I like how he said that. You feel me? So, you know, but definitely going to be a change up tonight. Definitely going to be, you know, it's going to be a good night tonight. That's why, you know, I had to especially bring the gas out for this one. You feel me? Because, you know, like I said, it's a new year. We got new guests, new gems. It's a new season. And, you know, trust me, don't think it's going to be over from season 3. Don't think it's over. Because it is not. And you know, we're just beginning. Just getting started. Because like season 3, and like, you know, we was talking behind the scenes with everybody. You know, it's kind of going to be like the last season we kind of get to really have fun with before we start, you know, nipping down on what we really want to do after season 3. But, you know, for the sake of the fans and for rocking out, I just wanted to have a little bit more fun. So, you know, especially, yes, you know, especially with this episode and, you know, everything else going on. So, you know, I'm just glad we're going to be able to have fun for one last season. This last interviews, we're really going to get to have fun, you know, and we're always going to have fun, but there are some things that, you know, I got ready for season 4 and after that are really going to be, you know, especially for the guests, you know, because everything we do strictly for the guests. So, you know, whether it's the merch, you know, and we definitely will be taking more suggestions in for the merch. We'll definitely be taking more suggestions in soon. We just wanted to give y'all a little startup with something. You feel me? We wanted to give y'all a startup with something. So, alright. Looks like we're well situated. Guest call, link sent out. You know. That's crazy. But, you know, besides it being a new year, you know, not really like on a resolution type this year. Like a lot of stuff that I'm wanting to do this year, you know, I really started attacking it last year. You know, it's really no point in waiting because, like, you know, I'm really at the state now where I'm at the art of, like, just doing. And, you know, it's a hard art to learn, but, you know, it's an art that I've been practicing of just doing it. And, you know, even trial and error, it works. But just doing it, it stops. You know, it stops you from overthinking when you just do something. So, fucking vein at the end and shit. Oh, let this little thing burn out while we waiting, cause this shit goofy. But man, you know, definitely, you know, it's definitely gonna be a rest of the great season. You know, we've already had some crazy guests. You know, shout out Wavy Band, shout out DJ Tent. It's gonna be a great rest of the season. What bit of dudes that I will give before, you know, the guest, you know, gets the link. Probably sometime during the season, because we're already halfway, you know. Probably right before like the end of the season, we'll be starting a Discord server where our fans, and you know, we'll also see if we can also get some of the guests that have been on the, you know, podcast themselves. You know, I'll see who wants to join the Discord, but I'm gonna have this Discord server for, you know, creative hubs for people connecting, especially my fans, because you know it's good to have fans of the podcast, but it'll be better if the fans get to know each other. Because what if they get to share, like, you know, things that they relate, you know? So we'll be having that. I'm gonna have a Q&A section. I'm gonna have a like an engagement section. I'm gonna try to come up with an info section. So like if people wanna like be guests on the podcast, you know, I'll try to come up with some type of submission. So but you know, like I said, this is just part of many things that we got ready for it, you know, later on in the Let Me Rap With You, you know, legacy. You know, and I know a lot of people, they've been asking about live streaming. That will definitely be coming. You know, I just want to make sure that we come correct with everything we do. So perfect. Just entered in. Let Me Rap With You podcast. Your boy 215 Got Beats. We got a very special guest in the building tonight. I don't even know if we can say Let Me Rap With You tonight, because we have the queen of harmonies herself in the building. We have Sunnie. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. It's an honor having you on here. Like, I have so many podcast fans. Me, myself, and of course me, myself. We love your music. So having you on here is just, having you on here is probably a gem itself. So, I mean, honestly, like, but, you know, we're not going to waste too much time for the, you know, for the fans. I'm going to just start it off the way I always do. You know,
Okay.
I think we should let people know where you from, first off.
I'm from Willingboro, New Jersey.
Jersey. I was actually born in Camden right before I moved to Philly.
Oh, that's what's up. Word. South Jersey.
Southside in the building, you know. But I've been in Philly my whole life, so I kind of can't say Jersey. I'm good to say, but you know, what was it like growing up there?
It was cool. I mean, Willingboro's pretty chill. It's kind of quiet. It's kind of small, but like, I started singing when I was young, so like I kind of like started exploring it around there, like performing and stuff like that as a kid. But other than that, I didn't really do much besides sing. So, but you know, I'm pretty sure there was other stuff going on.
I mean, hey, we all have our love and passion, but starting so early, what inspired you to even start singing so early in the first place? Because that's very surprising, actually.
Honestly, I just started. All right, so when I was 3, I went into my mom's room and I sang Frank Sinatra's "New York, New York" randomly. Like I guess I just liked the song, and then I told her that I wanted to be a singer, and then I never stopped singing since then. Just literally that simple. Like I don't know. I just did it.
Frank Sinatra, like this is unbelievable. Like I've heard of so many influence stories from R&B, from rap, from pop. But Frank Sinatra, that is unbelievable. So classical music was just something that was just, you know, often around you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we listened to a lot of we listened to everybody. Like my dad played more like hip hop and like neo soul. My mom was more like R&B and like jazzy, you know. But I mean, like it was kind of mixed together throughout. So
same way. I grew up listening to, it's crazy, as much as I love rap music, I actually grew up listening to R&B. Boys and Men, Jodeci, R. Kelly. I'm trying to think. Who else in my mind? Ashanti.
Music So Loud.
Oh my God, my mom loves Music So Loud. But I was more so of a Neo fan because I found out Neo was writing for Music Soul Child. So I was more so of a Neo fan because of that. And actually, I was a Jhené Aiko fan because she was writing for B2K, you know, early in the time.
I liked early Jhené.
Early Jhené. Like, when I think of early Jhené, I'm thinking about when she was doing features and stuff with like Kendrick and
Yeah, I
like
was just
Top
about to say
Dog.
Kendrick. Yeah.
That's great. That's crazy. Nobody mentions this stuff. Nobody mentions this stuff.
I
Everybody,
feel the same way. It's okay.
everybody loves it. I love the new Janae though, but like I think
The
about
old Janae
like
was way better for me.
what is that? What's that song by Kendrick? Growing Apart to Get Closer, I
Mm-hmm.
think. Classic.
Yeah.
And you know, you said you had did shows early. What was one of the first shows you did, and how old were you when you did it?
The first time I ever performed, I think I was 10. And I performed in front of like 500 people at some show that they wanted me to do. I used to do this thing called Willenboro Idol. The name's kind of self-explanatory, but I kept coming. I was like a returning winner, like all the time. So I was performing in front of it was done in Willenboro High School, but it was like a huge auditorium. So yeah, it was kind of like a little contest, and then whoever won, like, go against them. But then you get a trophy. But as a kid, it's this weird memory. Like, I remember this one time I won like 3 years in a row or something like that, and they freaking took me to all the and I was young, like I was like 10, 11. They took me to all the elementary schools around the area, and I got to perform in front of all the schools. I don't know. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Talk about going on a tour. Like,
right.
Like you wasn't even like, is there such thing? Like, is there an age like thing for touring? Because like,
nah, it can't be.
I guess not. Because like, I said like a school tour before you're even a teenager. Like, that's unbelievable.
Before I really even knew what a tour was, like I didn't even know.
Did you always have the name Sunnie as a child?
Nah.
Oh, I know. I figured everybody go through that name change at a certain point.
I mean, I had a different name before this, but Sunnie kind of fits my name a little better.
I'm gonna say, what brought that name to it?
One of my friends named their first guitar after me, and they called it Sunnie, but they did it with a Y. So I basically took the name and just changed it to the IE.
I'm gonna say that's actually lit, because nobody actually spells their name like that. Like,
Word.
Not even as a regular name. Like, nobody actually spells their name like that. And
maybe I started saying, maybe like 30 years from now, people got the name with the IE, but they usually have a Y.
There's gonna be like offspring names with it. But speaking of showcasing, doing it so young, what was it like for singing when you got into like your teenage years? Because I already know, like 10 years old, you already killing it in front of hundreds of people. So what was it like in your teenage life?
Actually, so I was, of course, singing all the way up until then. I was doing shows. A lot of people, when I was younger, I guess because I was a kid, so I was around like older people, they would like, I was doing covers for like Whitney Houston and stuff like that, So I was like transitioning. All right, so here's the thing. I started engineering when I was like 6, right? But there's only because I have an older brother he's into rap and stuff like that. He's 2 years older than me. So when he started messing with it, I started messing with it too. He was like teaching me what I needed to know, but then kind of letting me like learn on my own. So like I was writing my own songs and I was recording my own songs. They were not as good as they are now, but I was getting them done and I was performing them. And what was your question? I'm sorry.
No, actually that, and it's crazy. I'm going to ask a question before I continue.
All right.
So you said you were 6, and you said Broham was only 8 years old when he started.
Because my dad bought us a Mac Mini, and we were like, "What's garage?" My dad was like, "Oh, y'all want to be artists? All right, learn GarageBand. I'm gonna buy this for you." And because my dad knows stuff, so he's like, "Oh, that's what you want to do? All right, cool." So he bought us everything that we needed, keyboards, everything. I had a keyboard in my room doing little vocal exercises. There was a keyboard in the studio. And young, like now that I'm thinking about it, telling you, like this probably sounds mad crazy, like.
No,
like yeah,
it's crazy.
Like,
I've been through the same thing, because like engineering. I mean, I wish I could have started at 8. Jealous, 6 years jealousy. I'm jealous on that part, but because like I started engineering, I had a Casio keyboard, so it's like I understand the feeling.
Yeah,
I understand the feeling, and it's like definitely shout out, and like I can relate even down to because my dad. I remember, I think it was my 14th birthday. I think I think I had I think I had to have like $700 or $800. I can't remember. Shout out to the family. But my dad gave me a choice. He said, you can go to the mall, go ball out, go buy whatever you want, go buy some clothes, yada yada. Or, you know, do whatever you want to do, go buy some video games. I think, yeah, I had to be 14. That was when I bought like my first studio. I went downtown.
Yeah.
I went downtown to Philly. I think what's that place called on 10th and Market? Stereo Sound. Literally bought a whole set and I just started going crazy from there. Like,
Damn, that's awesome. But you're not too far off. You said 14, see? So yeah, y'all know you feel me. Like
I've been writing since 9, so it's like music has always been around for me. It's just once I was able to start engineering, because like I got tired of waiting. No, and I love my boys to death. B-Rock, Jack, don't get mad when I say this, because I know they gonna know I'm talking about them. I love y'all to death, y'all my brothers. I love y'all, but I just got tired. Like I waited 2 months for like a song when I was recording at my homie studio. I waited for like 2 months. And I didn't even know how to drop songs back then. So it was like I was just stuck. And once I got my own shit, I just learned everything from there. Like you said, like I took everything into my own hands.
I had that conversation daily, literally, like people, you know, doing majority of what they need by themselves. If you can learn how to do it, that's probably best.
I'll say like this. I would definitely give that same thing, because like that's literally like sitting here, like everything I'm doing now. So it's like everything I'm doing myself.
Right.
And I got everybody, the people behind me that's rocking with me. But and actually, speaking of, you know, rocking with people, the one thing that I do notice, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't pay attention to this, because they always just pay attention to like the front, the face, the image. And this goes for any artist, no matter who it is. They don't know that there's a whole team behind like everything that goes on. So I feel like you should tell, like, what's the importance of having a team behind you?
Everybody, it's kind of like what is it called? Assembly line? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I'm gonna say a lot of people use that word, assembly line.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Everybody has their job. They put their pieces on, and at the end, you get the beautiful product. It just makes it that much easier versus you sitting there, you know, trying to build a sculpture by yourself. Pretty much, that's really what it is. Like, you might have a vision, but you know, other people in the world, they got their heights and knowledge on certain things that you might not, you know, like, of course you can learn how to do things by yourself, but like some other people just might be better at it than you. So that's why you need a team, because especially if they believe in you, then they could definitely bring your vision to life way easier.
I'm gonna say, was it like that when you started doing showcases later on when you got older?
Yeah, kind of. In a way. I mean, honestly, when it first started, it was just me and my friends, and we just literally were like, let's just leave here and go start performing other places. Like, literally, I'm in a hotel that I used to perform at when I was younger. Literally right now, as we're speaking. Yeah, surprisingly, I'm in a hotel room. But like, I started here, and then I was performing here every Wednesday. I think every Wednesday and Thursday with my best friend for like 2-3 years, like when I was in college. And then we left here, and then we went to Trenton and started performing there at like Mill Hill Basement and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Orchid House back in the day. And yeah, and then after Trenton, we ended up meeting people from there that's like, oh, come to Philly. And that's literally how it started.
I'm going to say, because I was about to ask because I wonder how the whole, like the whole city be talking about you. And before we
For real?
Because I'm not even going to BS. I won't BS, because I usually don't say this in the podcast, because like I usually don't like to brag beforehand. But like, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I did kind of tell a couple of my friends, like, yo, y'all not going to believe who I'm interviewing. And when I told them, they was like, oh my God, I love her. Like, I was shocked, because like I'm sitting there like, because like and I'm not going to lie, because like, you know, my podcast, my fans, they're not used to me touching, you know, a lot of like stuff homebound when it comes to like Jersey, Philly. So it was like, when they sat there like, dang, like you really had to bring this one back home, huh? I said, yeah, I had to, because it's like, and it's not even because of, you know, the connection we have and the friendship we have. But honestly, when it comes to the music, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. I know, like I'm gonna say this, like, because here's the thing: we have a lot of R&B conversations, like behind the scenes. Me and my boys, we have a lot of R&B conversations, and we talk about like what's on the radio, what's playing right now. And no offense, but a lot of the female artists that
the music
are
on the radio is trash. It's trash, man. You can say
it.
Like, just
say it. Look. Here's the thing.
I haven't listened to the radio in like at least a week and a half right now. Like,
I have to listen to radio 10 hours a day at my job. So like I can literally tell you, like, is there even one?
That's crazy.
Is there even one R&B? The only R&B song I've been a fan of in the past year was "Do It" by Chloe and Halle. Now I'm not gonna lie, that song. And then when they brought the City Girls, Mulatto, and Doja for the All-Star remix, I'm not gonna lie, that was the one song that impressed me. Not even
crazy. I don't listen to any of them.
Trust me, you're talking to a person who doesn't even listen.
I mean, I've heard them before. I heard Halle and Chloe when they was on YouTube, like back in the day. But then when they start getting popping, I just, I haven't listened to YouTube for a reason. Like,
I say no offense. I really only listen to R&B artists that I follow and that I personally know. So,
all right,
that's kind of my thing. And it's like I said, my friends were already talking about you. So even if we weren't doing this podcast, I'll probably be listening from afar.
Word.
So, and actually being heard from afar, because I actually found this out doing my research. One of the first places to ever play you on radio was New York. How did that feel?
New York was the first place to ever play me on the radio.
If I recall you saying that before. Trust me, when I do back research, I do back research.
Yo, you come in like Narwhal.
Huh?
I said you come in like Narwhal. I'm trying to remember, like, was it? The first time, I do remember the first time I was playing on the radio. It's just kind of hard to remember when and where, but I do remember I was like, oh shit, like to hear my voice for the first time. The first time I got played on the radio was actually a feature. It was a feature with Sir Nino Black and Sherry Pie, and we had did something called 5 on it, recorded by Merc Beats. And they played that on the radio first. And then my song got played on the radio, and I was like,
wow.
Yeah, it was a crazy feeling. I've always seen it in movies as a kid. Yo, I really lived my whole life with it. Like, you feel me? And I always, like, that was the moment I was waiting for, and I got it. And I was super satisfied. She was cool.
Wow. That's, like I said, I may be like Narwhal, but this little Narwhal didn't know that you got played off a feature first. Look, I'm gonna say it like this. I almost had it on that one, but because it's so crazy because you called me Narwhal on my shit. Because like, I'll even bring up like,
that's so funny because he be knowing,
I mean, like I said, because like even like I know when you had a couple of New York showcases, y'all had Jersey in the building.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say it was my internet. My internet side crazy too, but yeah, as I was saying, I noticed not even just with New York radio play, but even with the couple of New York showcases, like Jersey was in the building when you took those showcases out there. Like I said, this Narwhal, look, he knows you had Jersey in the building every time you took New York out there. Like, what was that? What was that feel? What was that feeling of like New York just like loving y'all music?
Yo, it's crazy because like I forget where I was, but I remember I was asked the difference in the tri-state area, if it's harder to perform here or if it's harder to perform in LA. And I was like, I prefer performing in like places like New York. And I think I said that because, some people just listen just to listen, and some people give like real feedback or like real reactions. You know what I mean? I like New York because they could be from anywhere, and if they don't like something, you'll see. Like, you know what I mean? And if they do like something, they'll tell you. Like, and I think that's real cool. So the fact that Jersey was out there and I got to like let them know that we was all from there, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was really cool. And hear people let people give me their real reactions. People that don't know me, like, you know, we live in Jersey, we live in Philly, stuff like that. New York could be anybody. So it was a good, you know what I mean? It was a good experience.
You know, it's crazy. So many people from New York are moving over here to Philly now. So it's like
Philly is where it's at, yo. I want to move to Philly.
It's so crazy. Everybody wants to move to Philly now. And I'm glad somebody finally said where it's at, because like we've done so much and like never get our credit for it the way we should, but
it's crazy, yo. Honestly, I don't know if it's because I'm in it, but like Philly is lit. Like Philly is like, I feel like Philly's talked about a lot, but I don't know if it's just because like I'm around people around, or you know, in contact, you know. But yeah.
Okay, so you talking
That's
about
why
Philly.
People from New York are coming in.
You talking about Philly, but there was a time when Philly was talking about you, specifically Villa.
That's cool.
I wanna know what came from that. Like, how did that even happen? Like Sunnie for Villa. I'm like,
from Villa.
Trust me.
Like, are you Villa?
Yep.
All right. So when I was working with RecPhilly, right? I was talking with Will, and Will hit me up one day and was like, yo, I got to shoot for you. And I was like, all right, where's it at? He's like, it's in Philly. It's on the rooftop. I forget the spot, but you know, the place that's all like glass or whatever. Yeah. Over there. So we all meet over there. They're like, we're doing a back to school campaign, back to school shoot for Sneaker Villa. You got to do some sweatsuits and stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. I ended up being hired as one of their models. And I did that. I worked with them for like a month or two. And that was pretty cool. I shot with them a lot. I met a lot of cool people. That was a pretty cool experience, honestly. But yeah.
And that's crazy. You was around RecPhilly like when they first started, because like, trust me, definitely shout out to them now. They have definitely evolved, innovative, especially with the new move, the new building.
When I first met Will, and he was telling me like about RecPhilly, like when I first met him in the William Street Common before they closed down, like where they was throwing orders. That was the best venue I ever experienced, by the way, in Philly at least. Like that was a great place. But yeah, when I met him in there, honestly, I feel like I saw what's happening right now with them back then when he was explaining this. I was like, you guys did a great job. I feel like y'all definitely, you know, did exactly what your plan was.
I think they did it better. I think they did it better than expected. Honestly.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take that too. Yeah, you're right. They're doing great. They should totally be like a college. I say that all the time. Like they should just take that. You know what I'm saying? And freaking teach people everything that they're doing it the same way anyway. You know, just like better.
Exactly. And actually, you know, speaking of all these adventures and all these showcases, this is actually a funny question I had. You know, performing. Because a lot of people, they have preferences with performing. Me, I prefer to stand, specifically, only because like I know, like if I got homies and I got props, so it's like, you know, specifically I know me. You said you prefer bar stools when you perform. Back in the day, I'm gonna say, like, what's the preference with that? It's just a vibe for you.
I don't know. I like to sit down because I like to be cozy, and I don't want to sit in a little chair. I think bar stools fit me because I'm tall and I can still, you know, kind of do the things I'm doing, but I'm standing up. And if I wanted to stand up in the middle of it, I wouldn't have to get up that far.
Honestly, those little chairs, I'm only doing that like if I'm sitting backwards doing some love song type shit. If I'm doing that, like if I ain't doing that,
if I was in a little chair, it would have to be like a jazz club or something where everybody's like sitting pretzel style. You know? Yeah,
I'm gonna say that'd be rare for that. And speaking of jazz, what was how was your experience performing at the Village Jam? Because the Village Jam, they're
awesome.
Exactly, and they are very specific about the artists that they choose to perform there. If you perform at the Village Jam, like,
you know what's crazy with Leonzo and all of them, I met them a few years ago, And we were before RecPhilly was on, what are they on, Market Street?
They're on Market Street now. Back then they were on Susquehanna and Dolphin.
Yes, and it was the Windows Factory. Yeah, back then in the Windows Factory, they were Global Village Jam was across the street. When they would do their events and stuff, they would just come over. From like what I know, because I was part of RecPhilly. Maybe if I was over there, it would seem opposite. But yeah, and when they first started throwing their events, it was probably like 15, 20 people in there, literally. Like they be having like 800 people at their Johns now, at their events now, 1,000 people maybe. Like who knows? I remember they went to South by Southwest and did a whole couple jams there. I'm like, yeah, they're blowing up. But I remember when it was like 15 people in the room and we all, was performing and stuff like that. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then me and my friends started going for like every jam session they had. I would just pull up, like, because I was around there anyway already at the time, you know what I mean? And I was part of RecPhilly and they were right near each other. So, but I think that, honestly, I'm not even going to hold you. That was one of the most beautiful live jam experiences I've ever had. Like that shit was so free. I don't care. I've been to a lot of jam sessions because I love jamming, and I'll go to the Cali or whatever and go to jam sessions. They're great too, you know what I'm saying? But nothing is ever like that. Like they're definitely one of a kind, and I don't think anybody can copy them. Like it's just a vibe that they just have, and they just have this plan in their head, and that shit just fits perfectly. Like yeah.
Wow. That's so crazy, and to see all that happen here in Philly, and all that building up. Do you think all these connections and all that was what got you? Like, when I found this out, I sat there like, this couldn't be true. When you got nominated at the Philly Hip Hop Awards.
Yo, I was so surprised when I got nominated. That shit was mad cool. I was waiting. I was working a lot with my friend Cuddy, who ended up being a host. But it was really cool. You know what's crazy about that night? That was the night that the Trocadero, what's the word I'm looking for? Allegedly was like, it was like gunshots going off or something like that. So I never got the award. I walked outside to smoke real quick with my friend. And literally 2 seconds after I closed the door, people just like rolling on top of each other down the stairs. I'm like, wow. So I never got my award that night, the one time I was nominated. But it was great though. You know what I mean? It was a memory, forever. So
definitely a memory in the books. Definitely a memory in the books.
Yeah.
But speaking of all these great times, I want to actually start talking about the music because, pun intended, I'm rolling. We're rolling right now. You feel me? But all this great music. And I actually want to start from the Magic album because I hear from a lot of people that Magic was definitely one of the like fan favorite albums.
Word. Yeah.
What was the influence behind Magic, the whole entire project?
All right. Well, same thing as 2 a.m. Somewhere. It was based off of that song. So it was based off of the song Magic. Magic I wrote when I was filming in New York City around Christmas time, and we got stuck. When the train stopped, you got to wait till 5 a.m. So that happened. But I was with a whole crew of people, so it wasn't bad. It was just like, oh, all right, we're going to go to Dunkin' Donuts. Like, you know what I mean? Like those type of nights with the camera and just film stuff. So I ended up writing the song Magic that night. It was like, I feel like I'm on Magic because I don't know. I just felt mad good. And then I based the rest of the album pretty much off of Feeling Good. So that's basically what all the songs are based off of. But yeah, like the first song is Vibe Addiction. Then we got
definitely one of my favorites.
We got Feel It on here. Yeah.
Man. And we're rolling because and it's crazy because like I was actually playing that my Lyft driver was just bopping.
You was playing for your Lyft.
I got a personal sprinter. He's my guy. I got a personal sprinter. Like, like when I go to work and stuff, like I got a little personal sprinter whenever he can be around and all that. Mm-hmm. So like, luckily today, I had my sprinter coming home. So he usually let me play like I usually play lo-fi music every time I be, in the sprinter. But I told him, I said, I gotta put something different on today. I said, hold on. I put on We're Rolling. He was saying like, wow, like
that's awesome.
And it's crazy because like he listens to radio driving, but like he's not really a fan of. He doesn't like radio like the, same way as us basically. So
right.
When he heard We're Rolling, he sat there like, I see why I see why you would love this song.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, because I don't like radio music really either. So if I'm gonna make a radio style song, I don't really want it to sound like it's,
But honestly, that's how I can tell your authenticity through your songs, because like I could tell like you don't make songs for the radio, but like the authenticity, I feel like the world can still relate to it at the same time. And that's very hard for artists to do. It's very hard
That's crazy. Isn't it crazy that it's hard for them to do because they're artists? That's my 2 cents.
It's funny. And it was so funny because we had that conversation about, just the just the quality of what was I gonna say? Shit. Damn, I lost my train of thought. That shit was fucking crazy. But no, it's just so crazy that it's so hard for artists to make songs for the world to relate to without trying to make a radio hit.
Yeah.
So hard for that.
They just got to remember it's not about fitting in. It's about making the sound that you hear in your head.
Exactly. So the one thing I will say, what is the importance of the fans for you? Like just not just thanking them and showing love, but the importance of just, interacting,
Honestly, for the type of music that I make personally, if I'm just talking about myself, understanding is probably a main key. Like, because with the stuff that I talk about, you gotta like understand what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just listen to the sounds. Like, you feel me? And that alone, if you like my music and like you're, you know what I'm saying, you can appreciate my songs. I know that you're listening to what I'm saying, so it's kind of more like that's a family of its own. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all have a whole different understanding of things. So I feel like you can cater to people once you know that they're on the same page as you. That's why you know how you just said, like, I'm not trying to please the whole world, but what I'm talking about is relatable to everybody. So if they just tap in, then they get it.
That's all it takes, just tapping in.
Right.
And like, honestly, that's why one of my favorite songs, Talk to Me.
Yeah,
And that, like, your newest single, like, it doesn't matter the perspective. Like, I can just sit there and just relate to the words. And it's like a conversation. It's kind of like just like sitting how we talking now. It's like, it's a conversation. Like, that's why I love the music that you bring out. I love the music that you bring out in every single. Like, every song just has a purpose to you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Word. Well, thank you.
See, if there's one thing that I do on my podcast, and it's no offense to the industry or the mainstream, I always like to settle the difference between, like, why the artists that I interview and why the artists who I look at, they're the ones who actually care about the fans.
Word.
The ones who actually, you can hit 1 million tomorrow, but you'll still hit all those fans up.
Word. Right.
So,
because I guess it's the reason why you're doing it. It sticks with you through everything.
Exactly. And honestly, aside from the fans, giving their favorite songs, because if I can name, like, I asked some of my fans, like, what were some of those songs that, they loved? It was Talk to Me. It was We're Rolling, Settle, because a lot of people tell me the video for Settle was mind-blowing. And
we're mind-blowing. Wow, that's what's up.
the we love concept. If there's one thing about the people that I'm around, we love concept. And that's one thing you have in your music that I appreciate so much.
Word.
And actually, you actually gave a good hint at this because, you know, I actually pay attention to captions. You gave a good hint at this a couple months ago.
That's crazy that you just said that.
Your third studio album. Is it true that it's done?
Yeah, it's done. It's been done. I'm actually filming for it. Like, I'm trying to film shit to put out. I want to put out like a short film or something similar. And I want it to be the soundtrack, like piece by piece, like kind of like episodes.
The one thing I will say, what are some of the production, you know, some of the like, you know, studio sessions behind it? Like, you know, what could you describe? Like, because I know you got songs that didn't make this album. So when it came to choosing the songs, choosing the vibes, choosing the production, what was that? I felt it already. I felt it.
That was a stressful question.
Exactly. I think you kind of gave a few answers without even saying it.
All right, so this third album that you're talking about is the fourth version, which means there were a whole other songs 3 separate times that were switched into what you're talking about now. That's still not out yet. So, okay, that's number one. I'm making songs now that fit more of my goal. So I'm probably going to change it again. But here's the thing. The way I'm releasing it is not going to really mess it up. I'm still going to be able to put it out how I want to put it out. But I have a lot of live stuff now, which is like way more of what I want, and like live bands and like live instrumentation. Mm-hmm. And if anything, all right, so here's the thing. I had that album. I'm going to be real honest with you, okay? Just for your podcast. I had that album and I was going to put out a quarantine tape. I still have the quarantine tape ready to put out prior to the project that I was just going to drop. I don't know if I was going to do it on Bandcamp. I don't know if I was going to do it on SoundCloud, but I was going to drop it like off to the side. I wasn't going to put it on iTunes or nothing like that. So I might do SoundCloud, to be honest with you. I don't know. I might do both. Who knows? But yeah, then after I put that out, that was just, you know, because everybody's been waiting for a long time and I kept changing the album and everything. So right after that, I was going to put out the other one, but the actual project, that's going to have the films and everything like that. So yeah, that's my process right now for it. So, I mean, it's done, but you know, anything can happen still.
That's why I love revised projects. That's why I love it. Honestly, I can't wait until the final one.
I got you. Don't worry. I think because
all the hits you got out now, I don't need to be worried.
You'll be honestly, it's a different sound, but it's definitely enhanced. So I feel like you'll like it. Definitely, if you like my music already, I think you'll vibe.
For sure. And the last couple questions that I'm going to ask, what is this is actually one of my favorite ones. What are some of the future goal collaborations you plan on?
I don't know. Honestly, if you ever check my iTunes, I don't do any features on my own songs. I only have one, surprisingly, that I actually realized like 3 hours ago. I was like, wow, me and Trish on Fly Away. Trish is the only feature I ever did. Like, that's so crazy. Like, well, I didn't put out. Like, I have other features, but a lot of the features, like, I featured on their song. So it's out, but it's just under their name, you know? But yeah, I don't know. I love making music, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of people. If I walk in any room and somebody want to vibe, jam with me, like, I'll do it. Honestly, I'll do anything that sounds good because that's really what it's about. It's not really about the person, you know what I'm saying? It's because somebody who makes crazy sounding music could one day make something that matches me perfectly, and we might be in the studio with a band. So I can't really put my finger on that, but I know it'll be good.
That'd be some next level shit. I'm going to say that.
Word.
And the one final thing I'm going to ask, And of course, it's the podcast favorite question. Let's say, for example, somebody is in the studio with you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, for example, they're about to walk out and they're probably not going to see you for a grip. You can only give them one final gem to walk with for their career. You can give them one final bit of advice. What would you tell them?
I was going to say my answer, but it was super simple. I don't know if they're going to get it that easily. I would hold their shoulder with my right hand and I'd look them in the eye and I'd tell them to give a fuck. And I'd let them leave just like that.
It's funny because I get it.
Yeah. I'd be like, you really have to give a fuck. Good luck, bye. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that's it. If you care, it'll show. That's period. You know what I mean? Like, and when I say give a fuck, you know I'm not talking about the money. Like, you know. You just know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Trust me. I know. But for the fans, right. Don't let that go over your head too much. Mm-hmm. Don't let that go over your head too much. And actually, speaking of going over the head, you know, I don't know if you watched it, but I watched that Versuz with Ashanti and Keyshia Cole.
You want to know what's crazy? I've never seen any Versuz ever.
That was actually the first one I watched, and that shit was such a mess.
What?
Oh my God. Like, when I tell you, like, I can't even, I don't, here's the thing. Like, and this is why I was so late on sending the questions. I'm not even gonna bullshit you. Like, I'm sitting there like, okay, let me finish organizing these questions. Like me and the gang organized, and then boom. But I go on Twitter, I roll one for 1 second. I go on Twitter, I find out the Versuz is on. I'm like, do I really want to go on Instagram and really look at this? Nah, it's trending on Twitter. I'm gonna look at tweets. I look at 5 tweets.
They all about the Versuz.
I just go through the section, so it's all of them. So it's like Keyshia Cole late.
Yeah, I kept seeing that.
She's showing up. Attitude. OT Genesis show up. What the fuck?
My God.
Like,
was it somebody else there too?
I don't know who else. I think somebody else did show up.
He was doing something right.
I'm not sure.
Was that him?
I will really, when I say I went through 1,000 tweets, because I'm sitting there like, I went through a couple. I'm like, all right, cool. It ain't nothing going on. I checked my phone again, and then it just don't stop. I'm scrolling like every 5 seconds, and I'm sitting there like, I'm trying to get high. I'm like, oh, I can't smoke. I'm trying to go through these tweets because I went through literally 1,000. I was on that shit. I was on that one trending thread for like 2 hours going through that shit, because that's how much like motherfuckers was trolling. But like, I'm not gonna lie, I wish I could have called my mom, because like me growing up as a Murder Inc. fan, because I'm not gonna lie, like regardless of the pettiness and all that was going on, the Versuz was good, the battle was good, but I knew that, I'm not saying that Keyshia don't got hits, because Keyshia got plenty of hits. I'm not even gonna lie. I think Keyshia probably had some hits that she probably still didn't even get to play in there. I'm not even gonna lie. A couple people were saying it. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, because I listen to the people. So, but Ashanti, this is just me. You can't. Whether she pulls out the J-Lo hits. This is the most petty
Ashanti
part.
can't sing, but her songs was popping.
And this is the one part, like, this is the last part I'm going to say before we end out the podcast. Like, Keyshia Cole thought she was going to pull the Tupac card. I sat there like,
I missed it. What happened?
Ashanti still had that unreleased song that she did with Tupac back when she was still signed with Murder Inc. Like, that's like, my mom told me about that gem when I was a kid. Like, that's the one thing. Like, I'm sitting there like, dude, like, should I just call my mom right now?
That's like, mad funny.
I'm sitting here on some mama's boy shit. Like, do I really just want to?
Yo, did you call her? You should have.
No. We still haven't talked about it yet. Honestly, I'm gonna wait until I just go visit her because I think we have to talk about that.
That would be a great conversation.
Cause my mom grew up to both of them, but like I always told mom, I said, Mom, Ashanti is always the one that has it. Ashanti is always the one that has it. I'm like, and that's what I said. That's why I knew that Versuz was gonna. And then here's the thing, I was just waiting. I'm sitting here like, I go through the thousands of tweets already, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here, ain't nobody say the one thing that I'm waiting for. I'm like, did she pull the Ja Rule tracks out yet?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
oh no, she did. She did it at the end.
Yeah, she was supposed to.
But when they already said that Ashanti won, she did that just for the.
That's hilarious.
Like she did that.
And remember these? That's mad funny. Maybe I should have watched that shit.
When she pulled Always on Time, One More Chance, I said.
And you know what's crazy? Those are in my phone right now. Like I literally listen to them. I'm not even lying. Like I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't got no Keyshia Cole on my phone, but I definitely got Ashanti, and Ashanti can't even sing. But her songs was fire. Like that's funny.
Yeah, it is. Like, but honestly, we're not even gonna talk about them. What's in store for Sunnie? Like in the future, what's in store for her?
A lot. Anything I can get my hands on that I've imagined, to be honest, because I feel like anything is possible.
All the photography I've been seeing seem like you had the world at your hands in every way.
I actually have a song called "World in My Hands." Maybe I should drop it. Maybe I should. Maybe I will. Just said that.
Let's see. That should. Oh, Instagram poll tonight. That should be an Instagram poll tonight.
You know what? If you make it, you make the poll and I'll repost it.
All right, but
should Sunnie drop her song "World in My Hands"?
You know what? As soon as I get out of here, we're on it. We are on this.
All right, cool. I'll do that.
On this. So I don't forget, we're actually going to exit out now because y'all already know it's your boy 215 Guy Beats, aka Streets, aka you already know this, the queen of harmony herself, Sunnie. I'm going to have to say this differently. Producer's new favorite podcast, because she didn't rap with us tonight. She blessed us with gems, adventures. Like I can't even say the podcast name tonight. I'm just gonna have to exit out saying that this was a very lit episode.
Word, thank you.
And
thank you for having me.
Of course, the time you've been putting in. Thank you for showing up. Like shit. Like I really can't wait. Like I really can't wait for this like to drop and everything. But we're gonna get on that World in My Hands because I might need that now.
All right, let's see what's gonna happen.
Let Me Rap With You podcast. 215 Guy Beats. Sunnie. Peace out to you, girl.
All right, yo. Thank you.
Catch you on the flip side.
For sure.